Hi, Kirsten here. I'm going to show you guys how to apply your Saint makeup in as little as 5 minutes. So you're going to grab your compact. I am going to use the blush and bronzer brush today. This is going to give you light to medium coverage. So adjust accordingly. The buff brush is a really good one if you like more of a full coverage, and I can totally help with brush suggestions. So you're going to take your brush, you're going to dab into your main highlight. So this is the color that I gave you that most closely matches your skin tone color. So you're gonna take this main highlight and just ever so lightly gonna cover your entire face in just a light layer. I like this because it gives me an even skin tone base to start with. So it's getting rid of just a little bit of redness here and there, and it's really giving me just a clean kind of blank slate to start with. I also feel like this method is one of the best for beginners, like I said, because it allows for a lot easier blending. So I'm kind of blending this as I go. I also do put just a little bit on my eyelids just to cancel out a little bit of that redness, and I also find that it makes a really good base if you're putting on eyeshadow. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm gonna go into my brightening highlight. So this is actually going to be a lighter shade than what your natural skin tone is. I'm gonna use the detail brush, the littler end, and this brightening highlight, I'm gonna go right there, right here. Like this. I always want it to kind of go up and back because I always want a lifted and kind of chiseled out look. So this brightener, you're wanting to bring light and focus to the middle of your face. So that's what it is doing. Just gonna put a tiny bit right here, just like that. If you color correct, like under eyes, you can also dab that on at this time. So I have the lighter color that I use is called Taffy. Audrey is a really good one. So is Frenchie. If you have a deeper skin tone, I would go towards Mango Highlight. So I'm just dabbing a tiny bit under my eyes. Okay, now I've got that done. I am going to go into my contour. So now we're going to create shadows and definition. So I'm going to use that detail brush again. It has a broom shaped end. I'm going to go into my contour, which is Astoria. So I'm just going to dab my brush in, and I'm going to find that cheekbone, that hard cheekbone, and this is going to want to hug right underneath. The biggest beginner mistake is putting your contour too low. So we want to avoid that. We want to keep it high, and we really want to carve out that cheekbone. I tend to keep mine a little higher. If you're one who likes more definition under the apples of your cheeks, you can totally come in even further and kind of carve out those apples of your cheeks. Totally your call. Okay, I'm also going to contour up here along my hairline. This just kind of creates a shadow and helps that forehead blend into your hairline. So just a light layer up there. I also always contour right under my jawbone. Just like that. You're just gonna blend that out and make sure it blends into your neck, like so. Okay, nose contour. Personally, I like to use my finger or the smudge brush. I like to have that control of exactly where the color's going. So I'm gonna use the smudge brush and just tap into my contour. And I'm just gonna create that shadow just right there. Right on the natural nose line and into my eyebrows. If you don't want it to follow your natural nose line, feel free to just squeeze those together even more. A little bit on the bottom. Another place you can contour too, which is kind of fun, is right under your lip. That is going to create a shadow under your lip, which is going to make your lips look plumper. Okay, so that's it for contour. At this point, I grab my Stay Spray. So this is a primer and also like a setting spray in one. So I'm gonna mist my face just a few times. You can also spray it directly on your brush if you want. I like to just spray it on my face. So I'm going back to this blush and bronzer brush, and I'm gonna start at the lightest shade. So that's my brightener, and I am pressing it in. Pressing it in to my skin and just kind of buffing it. Just like that. I like putting the Stay Spray on at this point because I feel like the makeup has sat on my face for just a few minutes, so it's warmed up to my body temperature. And that Stay Spray also just adds a little bit of moisturizer, which helps to blend. Okay, and the cool thing, like with contour, you can blend as little or as much as you want. So if you want a really defined, really chiseled look, you can leave it a little bolder, kind of like my nose. I'm just lightly gonna go over that. But it totally depends on you, and it totally depends on the day. So there it is, I'm all blended. I'm going to add bronzer, illuminator, and lip and cheek. So going into my bronzer, I'm just gonna use the fluffy end of my blush and bronzer brush. Sometimes I squeeze it just a little bit so it fits in the tin. So bronzer is gonna go on. This is adding warmth. So it's different than contour. So this is gonna warm up your face, and you're going to wanna apply it where the sun would naturally kind of bronze you or hit the high points of your face. So up here and on your cheek, on the tops of your cheekbones. Just like that. I also usually take a little bronzer and come down into my neck and just blend that out. Okay, illuminator. There's cream illuminators and powder illuminators. I am just going to use a cream called Angel. So it's just a very sheer. This is just going to attract the light on the tops of your cheekbones. Another really good spot to put it is your brow bones, like that. And your Cupid's bow, so right above your lip, just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna add the lip and cheek. So I'm gonna use Madrid. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger and apply it right up here. I like to keep mine high, but like I said, this is a preference thing too. I would not come further in than the middle of your eyes. Madrid is a really good satin color. So a lot of the times I will put it on the bottom and then I'll top it with a shimmer. Okay, I'm gonna grab the blend brush and I'm just going to blend out that cheek color. And I'm doing circles and kind of pressing it in at the same time too. Okay, one more thing I'm gonna add, and that is brow wax. I am a huge fan of the brow wax. I apply it with this brush. This is the line brush. So it's got this spoolie end, and the brow wax does have to be activated by water. So I either get my brush wet on the end just a tiny bit, or take the slightest bit of Stay Spray and just kind of drip it into the tin. So I'm just gonna pick up enough to kind of shape my brows where I want them. And I feel like this really just opens up your face and it kind of completes your look. They stay very touchable, like they're not cemented to your face by any means. So I love the texture. All right, and that's it. The only other thing would be to finish, you can spray one more time, or you can use the vanilla dust setting powder. And if I do that, I usually take a beauty blender or beauty sponge and just dab on my face. So that's it. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions at all.